My name is Alec Rudner and I'm an audio engineer. Well, my father was a music producer since day one, so I was kind of born in the studio and I kind of just learned just hanging around with them and all the other musicians. I bought my first DJ set, I guess, when I was about 13 maybe. And I did that for a few years and then, kind of just messed around. Eventually, my dad convinced me to get further into it, so I took a 9-month audio engineering course. I learned everything that I need to know, and now I can walk into a studio completely confident and handle everything on my own.
In the beginning, the nigga named Quiet Storm created some shit that make you get live in your dome. Pushing the West Coast Chronicles, the tale of the two. What? Quiet Storm, take easy, you know what it do. We about to bring it live, we about to set it off. Quiet Storm is deadly, leave a bloody cough, cause this game has been pounded.
I'm the singer and guitarist of Slow Wave Saga. We're currently being recorded for a 3-track demo in the studio. My first introduction to music was way back in like grade 5 or something, like playing clarinet just in elementary school.
Well, I've been playing music since I was 7. First tried to record in high school, just onto my cheap little computer.
I didn't really start developing a real passion for it until I took up the guitar in grade 8 when I was about 13 years old.
It just kind of grew from there. I tried to get more advanced, learn more.
I started just forming rock bands with my friends, putting songs together here and there. Got more and more into it, and eventually just really found a real serious desire to get my own stuff out there.
I was first interested in audio like way back when I was younger. When I was 14, I started playing guitar, but audio engineering, I was more into it this past year. The guitarist of my band actually showed me this school, so I took the course. Now I'm really interested in it and trying to engineer records, and that's why I got on with Ben and Joey for this project.
Funny thing is, I didn't even want to do this to, rap. What got me was, my cousin, he started making beats. Whenever I'd go to his house, I'd just watch him make beats, and I was like, yo, this is pretty cool. I got the demo, I started messing around with it. I made terrible music, whatever. I was like, whoa, what is this? 3 years later, we had career prep in high school, and I was like, what do I do? And now I'm here making beats.
There's a basic method that everyone kind of follows when you're creating or producing a song. You either have an artist in mind or you have a basic tune in your head. From there you figure out something like your tempo, lay your bed tracks down and program your drums and go from there.
Well, I guess it all starts really with just jamming on the guitar, really. I come up with a cool sounding riff or a cool chord progression, and it just kind of goes from there. After that, I find the structure of the song overall, and lyrics and melodies start coming from there.
I'll have the entire band play to get the feeling of a live performance, get the drums sounding really awesome, and then just build everything on top of that.
I'll just go to the keyboard and start whatever, messing around with the kicks, drums, and everything, and then from that I'll just come up with a melody.
Inspiration can come from anything. I mean, strange noises that sound like music to you and something on the radio. Come up with your own versions in your head till you have something that's a totally different song altogether.
If I get inspired by a sound or something that's made on the street, I take my phone and record it, and I go home and a commercial will have like a certain riff, a musical content, and I'll just take that and I'll remix it.
Something that I'm really into, I get really invested in it, kind of get obsessed and just into every detail.
I definitely put a huge amount of time into all this stuff.
When you feel emotion from a song, you know that you're going in the right direction.
It's all I will be! It's all I will be!
Doesn't even come out how you had it pictured in your head anyways. You can have a general starting point, but once you get started, I think it's always better to be working with someone else. You're putting two brains together instead of one and kind of work off each other.
I like to look at it as like the more people, I guess, the more options you have.
The better a producer you'll be. You're always going to stumble on better ways to make something sound.
Because you might not think of something, right? And then someone else just might. Just try to keep the artist's goal and find that line.
I always have some idea of how I want the song to turn out in the end. Like a really pretty finely detailed idea in my head of how I want the song to turn out ultimately.
When you're making a song, you kind of go with the flow. And when you go with the flow, then different things happen. I get like vague kind of idea of what I want at the end.
But I mean, the song might totally change in the course of being produced or recorded, so it may end up somewhere totally differently.
When I get brought onto projects, I definitely try to like see what kind of style it's going for. If they want that like really rap gangster feel, or if they want that like more laid back hip hop style. Try to keep the most objective feel, taking the whole big picture. Listen to other music, like, you know what I mean? Like other songs, taking that energy, the emotion of those songs and translate it.
It's all the same thing, just played in different rhythms, tempos, and different keys.
You can appreciate like small things in all forms of music because there's tricks in all forms of music. You can translate some of those tricks, catch the attention in like other genres of music, like a reverse piano key or like a reverse cymbal or something, and like a rock build up, like to build up to a huge chorus or something, like flip that into a hip hop song, then it could really work.
Some songs will turn out to be almost exactly the same. Our track Demons, it's almost the same as when we started out. It's I think it's a lot more polished. Pieces which we're recording right now has turned out to be very, very different. We've done a lot of things, we've changed a lot of parts, added new melodies.
Sometimes it can be totally different in like a great way, like there are just happy mistakes that happen in a studio.
Any producer knows what sounds good. It doesn't really matter what the genre is. I'll still appreciate and respect the work that went into it. If someone's really passionate and they love music, they'll generally like any kind of music.
The digital age has definitely changed the way I listen to music and what I listen to. Since working with Ben and Joey, I've been definitely listening to a lot more hip hop. Not that I didn't before, but because I'm more of a metal guy, right? So I like working on this hip hop project with Ben and stuff. I didn't really think I'd ever be working on hip hop.
I left my previous group. I was just a guitarist. I didn't sing or do anything like that. I started to become more involved in more complete songwriting. So I sang more and I started writing lyrics and really crafting the song myself.
The way that I approach a song, I write about what I'm feeling at the moment. I can do one of those really gangsta, grimy, gritty beats. I can do one of those rider beats. I usually like to start with the hook first because the hook will be like what the song's about. Play the beat over, you know, try a couple different things here and there, see what fits. And for the verse, you know, I let the beat play, keep just reciting some lines, maybe spit a freestyle, couple lines.
I came up with the hook first, and whenever I write a hook, I always get, you know, amped to write the verse. And then the words went totally with the beat, so I was like, okay.
If something sounds really good, or something really goes along with the subject matter, then, you know, let's go with that. And after, when we go in together, we'll just feed off each other, you know, give each other positive feedback, like, you know, good job on that verse, good job on that line. And if I think there's something that could change, or, you know, I'll point it out.
When I was younger, I'd always like listen to a rap song, bust a like stupid freestyle. So I always had a good sense of flow. The way I make the beats it's totally related to how I flow.
You'll start off with a project and then like you'll think it's like almost, like you'll think it's finished, right? Then the producer will come in and like, he'll be like, yo, I just added this like new string part.
I'll make a beat, I'll leave it there for like a week or two, play it back again, and then something will just come out, I'll be like, oh snap.
And then you listen to it and you're like, wow, that's just like...
Sometimes I'll just go for fun, make something, leave it, not knowing that it's perfect. And that's what we have on the albums too.
You're just like, what? That was sick.
The most technical parts are probably when you're doing the actual recording.
My final goal when capturing their vocals is trying to like encapture that attitude that suits that particular sound that they're going for. Dial that in and getting the compressor to just get them to sound how tough they want them to sound.
EQ and all that basic stuff, like we mess around with the volumes, set the levels. This is the engineering side.
For this production, this is the intro song of West Coast Chronicles Volume 1. I wanted to kind of make it sound like Jay Geezy and Quiet Storm were in the same room together. So I basically took the output of that reverb unit and I re-recorded it back into Pro Tools here so that they would both have the same reverb surrounding their voice in the mix.
When I'm recording my vocals, I do like 10 takes sometimes. Best, you know, to get the best take.
Trying to get the take, you know, like it's like almost like a high, trying to get that take. That perfect take, right? You just keep listening and like it's like, oh, you hear one mistake and then...
You know, fix words that need to be fixed.
Talk to the artist and they'll be like, yeah, there's one little thing. I'll be like, yeah, me too, I thought so. And then they'll be like, okay. Yeah, and then you just get them to do again.
Shit, man. I'ma get this like a chef in the restaurant, giving commands. Oh, fuck. Okay, restart. I got in the kitchen making... Oh, fuck. One more.
outshine themselves, right? And it's just, when those moments happen, it's awesome, right? Like, that's what you live for. Start mixing that track now, you know what I mean?
From all the producers I know personally, most of them just like make a sound in their head, right? And then they'll memorize it and put it down.
A lot of what I do, like, I hear in my head and know what has to be done. Like, a lot of tearing apart a song is hearing what it can be and the potential in the song.
There's definitely a point at which your music can become like too one-tracked. I try to look at it from the perspective of someone who doesn't know the band, just listening to the song for the first time. What'll make this song different for you? Like, what'll make this song stand out to you, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
West Coast to West Coast. You know how we do this. West Coast to West Coast. You know how we do this. Two fly niggas straight from the West. Okay. Firestorm and Easy. Yeah, we the best. We the West Coast to West. You know how we do this. West Coast to West. You know how we do this. Two fly niggas straight from the West. Jay Geezy, Firestorm. Yeah, we the best.
You guys hear me?
Now that your feeling's gone, you gotta know that when it's all said and done, you'll have to crawl back. Now that your feeling's gone, you gotta know that when it's all said and done, you'll have to crawl back. Now that your feeling's gone, you gotta know that when it's all said and done, you'll have to crawl back.
Try to be versatile. I mean, it's good to craft your own kind of sound, your own signature sound, but I mean, there's a fine line between maintaining your sound and getting boring.
I can do lovey-dovey type of beat. I can do beats so you can get really lyrical and go for a long time. Where you're talking about something important, something with a purpose, bars and short rhymes. I can do anything.
Well, when I'm making a production, like, I find that the better the players, the better the instruments, the better the song is going to be. Like, no exceptions.
Really into their project, really thinking we got something going here. Be really happy to see the final product and then when it comes out.
You'll work with stuff that right off the bat you don't think is going to go very far and then ends up turning out really well. I mean, but that's one of the things about this industry is that's always happening. You're always getting curveballs thrown at you, and you come up with a song that you think is garbage and, you know, could end up being a big hit. So you never really know at all. You could come up with something you think is greatest song ever and it ends up being a coaster.
That's what it's all about.
There, you have something that you mastered, like you cooked in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying?
Cooking in the kitchen all day and all night. Speakers on blast, hit it on, take a bite. Like a chef in the restaurant, giving commands, creating live shit. You would think I was a band. Cooking in the kitchen 'cause I'm making fat beats. Kick,